Good day. Hope everyone's fine and everything. It's nice slice Friday. I'm consuming my normal beverage, Red Bull, full fat. You know why? Because I work 14-hour days. This fuels me. Hopefully, I don't gain too much weight. Anyway, today we're talking about gaslighting. I'm taking a break away from talking about certificates and to help those people with the main qualification that people usually overlook, and that is personal skills. Soft skills, highly important, highly. You know why? Because without soft skills, you're not going to be able to conduct your job as efficiently as you probably want to be. If you're in DevOps, working in a traditional DevOps way, which is conversing with other people to formulate a plan or some sort of software to produce something good for the company, you need to learn how to talk, right? You need to learn how to be able to conduct yourself in a way that brings across the best out of people. One. And two is that to interpret people better and know how to maneuver away from people's toxicity within the environment. So let's talk about gaslighting today. Gaslighting is really important. Gaslighting is something I want to get off my chest. Gaslighting is something I want to share with you. Why? Because I have my gaslit. So my ass lit, more like. Now, let's paint the situation, right? I'm hired by the CIO to do a migration for him from a platform, Azure, in a separate subscription, a cloud service provider, CSP, into his own tenancy, right? And what has happened is that he's realized that he's messed up and he's trying to cover it a bit. So let's call this guy Jim. I think Jim is good. Anyone I talk about for no one on this program, Jim is a good name. So Jim hired me to do this migration for him solely. And basically, I said, okay, what's involved? So it was a few web apps, a backend sort of database, simple stuff, and some C plus code. So I said, okay, where's all this held on a Git repository? I said, okay, that's fine. This is all straightforward stuff. So I said, okay, what is it that you really want to achieve? Well, I want to be able to make sure that everything is automated. I want everything as their DevOps. I want pipelines. I want to have everything in ARM templates. I said, sure. And it says, is that what you have now? He says, yes, I have that. So when I look into it, no, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have any of this. You know what's happened? People have manually deployed the infrastructure and then basically manipulate some of the PowerShell scripts to do some stuff and told Jimbo, that yeah, it's all ARM template, it's all automated, it's all infrastructure as code. When you look into the truth, no, definitely not. Nothing of the sort. So poor matey boy here had to be able to unpick everything. And I said, look, if you want me to do this in the timeline that you want the migration, which is 2 months he gave me, then what it is that I need a team. I need to be able to have a scrum master. I need to be able to have 2 engineers out as the architect, oversee everything, and liaison with you on a daily basis. Says, okay, that sounds good. Let's go for it. Because I realized it was so much. Now, here's where the gaslighting started. Jim wanted to make sure that everything was ARM templated. But I saw the timeline for me to be able to do the ARM template for the infrastructure. I know through ARM templating and trial and error and everything, it would have taken too long. So we're not going to hit that deadline, Jim. What do you want? What do you really want? He says, well, the migration is best. For it to move away from their tenancy to our tenancy is the ultimate goal. I said, sweet, we could do that. Do everything manually, just copy and make sure that everything is the same thing from our portal. Copy, paste, done, blah. Redirect the code into our repository, notch. So yeah, sure, for real, we could do that. So we were given a line of 2 months. We succeeded in a month. Everything was over, everything was switched over. And then, the ultimate dream was to then get everything ARM templated and roll in and implement security and so on and so forth, a proper landing zone, guys, right? Anyway, guess what? Jim said, that's sweet, man. You got it migrated and everything, and everybody's working on using our tenancy, far quicker than I thought. Let's see the earn templates. I said, well, Jim, we agreed. No earn template, and you said that it was fine. He said, no, that's not at all what I said. I said that I wanted to earn template and do the migration. I was just like, that's not what you said. Now, at this point, I felt I'm losing my mind a bit. I'm definitely in a daze. Now, I'm sharing with you this feeling because this is what gaslighting does. If somebody's gaslighting you, right? You have this feeling of loss of memory, confusion, questioning yourself. Did I really say these things? You're questioning your ability to remember. If you feel like that, you're being gaslit. Now, this is how you deal with this to protect yourself. And that is, and I tell you what I did. So Jim, next meeting, when it came to organizing and seeing the bigger picture of the development, I'm not sharing that with you because there's an NDA about it. What happened is that he said these are a few things that are on the roadmap that we want to do. This is why I want to succeed. I say, sure, we could do this. Tell me what you want. Well, first of all, the ARN templating, sure, no problem. Security, sure, no problem. Everything pipeline, sure, no problem. Reporting, analysis, everything, sure, no problem. I'll do all these things. And then mainly I want to be able to do this within 6 months. So sure, we could do this, no problem. So what happened is that after all these things that were dropped down, I was taking notes in the meeting, put everything there, I put it in the email, I have it structured. Now I made sure that when it came to meetings, I was not the only person there. It was me, a junior engineer, or the architect, or the project manager was there. So that therefore there was another witness to the scene. After the meeting, after I took notes, after the witness, what I tend to do was, and it's rightfully so for you to ask somebody else to accompany you, because if it's business, business is business, it's not a problem. If it's something private between you and HR, then you can't ask somebody else to accompany you. But anyway, what I then did was that after the meeting, after taking notes, after the witness, put an email, got the peer review about the email, and sent it to whoever was involved in the meeting and the directors or the other stakeholders. And I put at the end of the email to say, there's no objection to the content of what I've actually described in here today, then therefore I believe that this is accurate information and to proceed. Guess what? At the end of the day, nobody objected. It was accurate and we proceeded. So anyway, I think Jim gave us 6 months to do all this work, or 3 months. I completed it in 3 months. No, I tell a lie. Jim said complete all this work in 6 months, right? In 3 months, guess what Jim happened? Jim knocked on my door and said to me and my team, what's going on in the migration, all the things that we said? I wanted this done not in 6 months, in 3 months, because we have another project that we need to do ASAP. I'm just like, but you never mentioned this. You never mentioned any other project. Now, I know I'm not losing my mind because I have identified that my manager, CIO, Jim, is a gaslighter. And what I've also identified is that how to protect myself by taking notes and then putting them in an email and then having witnesses. So then when Jim was actually flapping around and stuff like that, I look at my team look at me and went, yeah, you're right. So what do we do now? So we need to fulfill what Jim is asking for. Anyway, the whole point of the story is always when it comes to gaslighters, or you feel as though that you're losing your mind, you're not. You're having to identify the behavior of what you're experiencing. If you feel as though that you're a bit fuzzy and you think you're forgetful, you're not. You're being gaslit. It's a form of narcissism. You need to be able to know how to deal with these sort of people, and that is to back yourself up. Make notes, send an email, right? Have witnesses. And that way, nobody can ever point the finger at you and say that you screwed up. You know why? Because you took ownership in protecting yourself and protecting the team and protecting the business by documenting every single thing there is. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, gaslighting. It's dangerous, it's horrible, it's a worst experience I've ever had, but I'm sharing it with you. And that's one thing to how to avoid. Take notes. If you like what I'm saying, subscribe, because I got more juicy information that you don't want to miss. Take care and see you soon.